So I'm joined again by Adam from Wine Selector. And Adam, where are you taking me in the world of wine, Australian world of wine today?
Ben, we're going to your backyard, mate. We're going to Queensland.
Oh, nice.
We're going to the Granite Belt.
I know where that is.
Yes, so I'm going to show you what the Granite Belt are doing in terms of what traditional varieties they're growing. I've got a Shiraz. Everyone knows what Shiraz is. Everyone's tried it. And I've got a Fiano.
Okay, that's
maybe
interesting.
Something a little bit different to a lot of folk out there.
Yeah.
So let me pour the Fiano.
Excellent.
And I'll talk you through it a little bit.
Well, I'm doing a beautiful little pork dish, and I'm going to marry it with some apples because Stanthorpe is an area where they grow a lot of apples. And I'm going to pair it with this beautiful pork chop. So I've got my barbecue here. This is actually Jamie Oliver's barbecue.
Wow, it's got his name on the top.
It says Jamie Oliver. He lent it to me. Last time he was here, he said, Ben, you need a barbecue? Have this little baby.
What a good bloke.
He could have given me a bigger one. So here we've got some balsamic vinegar. So just your regular balsamic vinegar. You don't need an aged one. And we're just going to firstly hit our pork chops with the vinegar. And that has actually been in the bottle a little while, that vinegar, and it's just got a little bit of culture in it, which is fine. Okay, so vinegar all over our pork chop. Then we're going to add some garlic.
Brilliant. To
each one. Okay, we'll just smear that in that side and we'll turn them over. We've got some chopped rosemary.
Perfect.
Now I always add the liquid first. I'm going to add some oil to it, but always the liquid or the acid first. It's a bit like when you dress a salad. You want the acid to stick to what you're dressing.
Okay.
And then the oil will then coat it afterwards. If you put the oil on first, oil repels liquid.
Okay.
So you won't get the penetration.
There you
so
go.
a nice little bit of rosemary. Then we've got beautiful fresh laurel or bay. And then finally, a good bit of cracked black pepper. And then we'll just bring in our olive oil. And again, about a tablespoon for each one, like so. And we just leave that in the tray. What'll happen is some of the meat juices will start to come out because of the acid. And you can actually see it changing colour the way it's working on the protein. Okay, so we've got our barbecue set up. Thank you, Jamie Oliver. Heat beads are nice and white.
Perfect.
And what we're going to do, and I'm not going to season it now, okay? I'm going to season it later. So we'll just get our chops on the barbecue.
Is there any reason for the addition of salt later? I guess a lot of people might think you would add it before you put it on the
No, not
grill.
really. I just want to finish it with the salt. You could season it now.
Okay.
But we've got all this wonderful umami kind of balsamic in there, and that's going to be beautiful. So a nice barbecue, mild temperature, not too hot. You could do it on a gas barbecue, medium heat, and we'll just stick a leaf on top of each one.
There is something about cooking over coals or...
Oh, you can't beat it. You get a little bit of flare up, so you get a little bit of smokiness.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more balsamic to this tray, just to wash out all of this marinade. Add some more olive oil, the remaining olive oil, and you've got a pot there.
I do. One that I was knocking over before.
See, I noticed that. Every time you put it down, it's a little small for the ring, so it keeps like sort of falling through. And we're just going to simmer that up and reduce it down. I'll put a little bit more rosemary in there. So I'll just put the lid on this, Adam, and we'll just keep an eye on it. And the good thing is we're not going far. So tell us a little bit about the Fiano.
Well, mate, I've poured it for you before, but teasing you by not giving you a glass. So, cheers. Thank you very much.
It's got a really interesting colour, doesn't it? Almost kind of like green, grassy.
Yeah, it does. It's got that real bright colour to it. And for anyone who's, you know, really into buying straight from the source, supporting small family-owned vineyards, the Granite Belt is an area that you have to put on your list.
Yeah.
Because these guys are the people who grow the grapes, tend the vines, make the wine. You know, there's a romance to that type of stuff.
Yeah, when you go to the Granite Belt, you can come and see me afterwards.
Exactly.
And have a meal at Billy Carton in Queensland.
What a perfect holiday.
Sweet. So Adam, this has just been simmering away, and basically you just want to introduce some heat to it.
Let me just pour you a little Shiraz, Ben.
What's the rule with decanting wines? When should you, what should you, how should you?
It all depends. Every wine will benefit somewhat from a little bit of air. That's the method to your madness of swilling your glass. Wines that are ready to drink in the short term, decant them 10 minutes before, or put them into a big glass like we've got here.
Opens them up, lets the oxygen get to them.
Exactly. The only wines that you basically want to be careful with is really older wines, because they're going to react quickly to the oxygen and maybe get past their best drinking period.
Yeah, right.
So,
I was given a bottle of Chateau Mouton Rothschild, 1982. I did this.
You're a lucky man.
I know, right? I did this cooking gig with this guy who owned the barbecue before me. And it was in Colchester in the UK. This guy had made a bit of money in the .com boom, so this is back in the 2000s.
Yeah.
And he gave me and Jamie a bottle each, cooked this like slap-up meal for them, and then he gave us a bottle of Royal Tokai.
Yeah.
Anyway, his mate came in and we're having a look at this bottle and he goes, "Oh, what's that?" And I said, "Your mate Nigel just gave it to me." And he goes, "Oh, are we going to drink it?" I'm like, a bit overwhelmed by the situation. He goes, "Oh, I don't know, I think you need to decant it." And he goes, "Bollocks. You just whip the lid off, pop it in the microwave for 4 seconds and we're ready to go." And he did. Before I knew it, I had my bottle of wine.
Bang.
Lid off, in the microwave, ding, comes out. And the cork had just started to pop up, and then Nigel comes in from the lounge room and he goes, "What's going on here?" And I said, "Your mate just put my bottle of wine in the microwave." And anyway, so I took it home and I was panicking. I was like, this is like a £1,000 bottle of wine.
Absolutely.
And I called my head chef up and, what do I eat with it? How do I do it? And mate, it was the most amazing wine. It hadn't been spoilt by the microwave effect. So I think our pork chops must be nearly ready. There's a nice bit of smoke coming off them here.
And the smell's amazing.
So look, you can see the lovely colour on the pork fat. You can eat a pork chop medium rare. I feel like people get a bit funny when it's a bit pink. These are like medium well, I'd say. I think what's important is that the fat's nicely rendered.
Sure.
I'm just going to add some salt to these now. Okay. And I've just got a few leaves of rosemary. I'll take one of these off as a plate. So now we'll be able to completely match the wine with the food. So we'll take one of these little puppies here, put that on.
There is an anticipation with barbecuing like this, isn't there?
Yes, indeed.
You sit there and smell and smell and smell.
Put these to the side. I think barbecuing for me is one of the most relaxing, enjoyable ways to cook and entertain. And here I made a little apple sauce. Now, because we're drinking wines from Stanthorpe, I've got some apples. These are like pink lady apples.
Yep.
And I left the skin on to make the sauce, which gives it that lovely, beautiful pink hue.
Magic.
Okay, and we'll just put a nice little dollop of that on top. And then we'll go to our sauce. Okay, a nice little dressing. And that just goes all over the top. We've got a bit of a bay leaf in there as well. We'll put that there.
There's a real simplisticness to this dish, right?
Yeah, well, it is. It's just like a few ingredients. The star of the show is the pork and the apple, supplemented by the beautiful sort of acid sweetness of the balsamic, which is and I think it'll marry really well with the wines.
Absolutely.
We won't destroy that one. We'll have a look at this here. I've got a knife.
That looks too good.
Yeah, and just take a little bit of the belly off that pork chop. And I'll do a little bit of sauce on each one. Oh, stop it.
It's a canapé just waiting to happen.
I know, right? And just quickly, for this one here, I'll take that.
Brilliant.
Put that on there like
at
that.
that.
And that's your, I'd serve that with maybe a rocket salad or maybe some cannellini beans smashed would be really nice to soak up all the juices. But here you go, mate.
Cheers.
Bottoms up.
Thank you very much.
Pork and apple.
Thank you, mate.
Cheers, buddy.
Thank you very
Cheers
much.
to Queensland wines.
Exactly. Cheers.